Arriving in Chincoteague, Virginia, I noticed something I didn't expect to feel so clearly. This is State 26, the point where this year of traveling all 50 states quietly tips into its second half. Milestones like this don't announce themselves. There's no marker on the road, no confetti at the town line. It's just a moment that settles in while I'm unpacking my bag or watching the light move across the marsh. The realization that I'm no longer starting something. I'm in the thick of it now. And with that comes a shift. Not dramatic, but real. I can feel the journey shaping me a little differently than when I first set out. And especially as I edit these clips and craft these episodes over a year later. If you've been following this channel looking for pure travel advice, I'll be honest with you, the last few episodes probably haven't helped you plan a trip. They've been extremely personal, sometimes messy, sometimes closer to a home movie than a guidebook. But this project was never just about where I went. It was about noticing a season of my life while I was inside it. My sincere hope, though, is that if you're on your own quiet pivot, if you're questioning what comes next or why the road feels different now, maybe some of this resonates. And if it doesn't, that's okay too. I'm still figuring out what kind of value this journey wants to offer, actually. And if I were wearing my travel guide hat today, here are 3 things worth knowing about this corner of the world. First, this is the gateway to Chincoteague Island, a barrier island shaped by tides, salt air, and a slower rhythm that feels deliberately preserved. Second, just beyond these cottages sits NASA's Wallops flight facility. Rockets still rise from this shoreline, which somehow feels perfectly fitting. Wild ponies on one horizon, space launches on the other. And third, this island is home to the annual Chincoteague Pony Swim, a tradition where wild ponies swim across the channel each summer. It's part folklore, part community ritual, and entirely unique to this place. Well, that's Chincoteague. Quiet, unexpected, and a little bit poetic, which feels like the right place to begin the second half of this year. Did I do an intro to this episode? Virginia? I don't think so. Welcome to Virginia. All right, I'll be the first to admit it that these vlogs have been really freaking lame. Here I am in my Key West Cottage, and took a little ride today. Went all over the island. I didn't record that much. I did a couple of driving videos, I think. Can't fly the drone. I feel like I'm failing in these vlogs. I really have to get a plan together for some of my future episodes. I think I was kind of on a little bit of a roll there, and now I just think I went out really last minute for these 3 cities or 3 states, and yeah, I don't know. I was sitting in a ridiculous chair. I sent my friend Frank a picture. Here it is right here. I saw, one of those things that they have like a little kiosk and they have little signage and talks a little bit about the town, a couple of little tidbits, little flashbacks into history. Apparently there was a really bad nor'easter back, I think it was in the early 20s, and it did a lot of damage to this area. So, maybe to bring a little bit of education to this little bit, we'll just throw it to Mike, have him do some research again, and we'll talk about what that was all about.
Well, first off, after a little current day research, apparently I was a wee bit off on the date here. That plaque I was staring at in town, it was about a nor'easter that blasted this area in March of 1962. It also became known as the Ash Wednesday storm, apparently. Not a light sprinkle. It was a 3-day slugfest of wind and water that absolutely hammered most of the mid-Atlantic. Chincoteague was basically underwater. Main Street was flooded, buildings got wrecked, and yes, even the famous wild ponies took a hit. Well, somehow out of that mess came a shift. Plans to develop the Assateague Barrier Island area got washed away, conservation kicked in, and this stretch of the coast started getting preserved instead of paved over. So there we go. I guess we both learned something. Now, what was I rambling on about at the cottage?
Yeah, I'm trying to make nothing out of nothing. So, yeah, I'm going to go get a bite to eat. And then I'm going to get a couple of drone flights in tomorrow. And we're going to find somewhere interesting to tell a little bit more about the story of Virginia and my travels through Virginia during this 50 at 60 project. Testing again the low light capabilities of the what's it called again? The skylight setting? Nighttime? Whatever it is. See old pool lighting? It'd be a nut to be in there now. It's freezing. Back to the cottage. So I plan tomorrow. This is what I'm going to do. Heading south. I'll show you on a map what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm heading south of here to, going to go through Cape Charles and then up into Hampton, Yorktown, Saluda, Tappahannock, Fredericksburg, and then up to Alexandria. That's the route I planned. Hopefully I'm going to be able to pop the drone in, get a couple of drone flights in. I think I might stop in Williamsburg, look around a little bit. Maybe Yorktown. That's the plan. Gonna see a little bit of Virginia. Maybe we'll learn something else tomorrow. That's all I got for now. See you in the morning.
All right, current day editing Mike back again for a little bit of housekeeping items and kind of bring this thing in for a landing. First of all, this episode here, I had referenced at the beginning of this that this was supposed to be state number 26. In other words, just going past the halfway point. And I did a triple count on this. It's actually state 27. By the way, I think the tone of these things have changed a little bit last couple of episodes. I hope you don't mind. Each season brings about its, I think, unique perspective on my travel through all 50 states. Again, it's an honest journey and a personal one, but like I've said a million times, thanks for being here. So we're going to split this episode up a bit and, like I said, bring this thing in for a landing. I have a couple of clips of me driving through here. I had some a long-winded conversation from the car. Apparently I'd been in this area before with my ex-wife and had a nice trip around here, and was kind of reminiscing and missing her and kind of talking to camera, but I didn't really say that much. But what else did I do? I climbed a lighthouse. I climbed it up and down, and it's right there on the barrier island there. I believe the name of the island's Assateague, if I'm not mistaken. And then one real quick mention here, this place that I stayed, these Key West Cottages, highly recommend them. I believe I went to a website here to get some information. Apparently, what do they say here? Obviously, it's on the water's edge in Chincoteague Island, Virginia, expanding from 5 to 38 pastel-colored tiny retreats. This post was made in 2022. So anyway, yeah, they were slated to be open in 2022 in August and September. The 33 new 1 or 2 bedroom cottages range from 376 to 661 square feet. Each has a full kitchen, tiled walk-in shower, coastal decor, and a cozy covered porch with water views. Many of the decks are at the canal's edge, making it easy to fish and crab from them. I'm not sure why I take so many photos of these hotel rooms, but it's kind of fun. Maybe some images for the old portfolio. Anyway, thanks for being here once again. On the next episode, next week, we will take a scenic ride up to Alexandria before we fly out and head home. And again, see the cat. I'll see you next week. And as always, more on all of this later.